Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. RAGL Season 12 Shoutcasting Services at your demand. This is another match live from the RAGL pool, and it's a pretty good one at that, between two players whom I consider relatively similar in style, due to their propensity to choose macro maps, and yeah, they're always good for a large-scale tank battle. In the top right, spawning as non-copyright infringing reddened, it is Blackened, the OG, starting out with a double doggo opener. Alright, the wolf pack has been unleashed. It's a bit risky if you ask me. Ooh. Okay? What on earth was that? Was that control misclick? Did he actually... You know what may have happened? So, if you don't know, you can speed up dogs if you assign a target to them. They're gonna start running instead of walking into leap range, and I think maybe he tried to speed up his second dog and accidentally didn't press the stop key quick enough, so dog eat dog. Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world. Anyway, the opponent also, both spawning is Ukraine, the opponent is Sigil, who has himself picked a very safe opener, just a nice formation of rifles. Safeguarding the engineer, looks like a mission setup. Also, ooh, an escort mission. Safeguarding the engineer back home to the home base. That's pretty good. Let's zoom out a little. And yeah, we've been talking about the macro map propensity. This is evidenced in the map that is on display here, Schwerpunkt. German for emphasis. I don't know who... I have never seen this map. Who has created this? It doesn't show, huh? That would be so interesting. Damn. Alright, Schwerpunkt. Oh! Well, this engineer is about to get about to get pelted. No way! Did Sigil not pay attention, or is the firing range not large? No, it definitely is. That's 6 cells. Maybe the line of sight is just barely not enough to connect there. Maybe he saw the progress bar but was unable to shoot into the fog of war because of his because of the restricted movement of the comm center. I don't think you could pass through here. And maybe the line of sight is just barely not enough to see an engineer that is waiting here in the wings. So yeah, that gives a free communication center over to Blackened. And that is pretty nice for him. Double ref for both players, kind of surprising. On a map this large. Let's zoom out a little. This is a large map indeed. So large that it has 2 comm centers. But the expansion slots are kind of limited. So you basically need to make sure you're grabbing onto this expansion and especially this double mine expansion. And then there is oil derricks in the corners. Not on the other side though. Let's disable the shroud for a little. This looks nice. Those ridges are well crafted. I really gotta say, the visual quality and fidelity of maps has gone up ridiculously from the past seasons. This time we've got some really gorgeous maps. The prime contender would be the jungle map, whose name I just forgot, but it's just absolutely stunning. And this one is also really well crafted. Chernobyl is also well designed, but I think from a game design standpoint, people dislike it very heavily, from what I've heard. So triple refinery for Blackened and for Sigil, so this is kind of mirrored builds, should reflect itself in a relatively mirrored, asset count. Very, very even. And basically no shots being fired, just a couple teeth marks on the dog carcass outside of Sigil's base. Seeing our first small skirmishes. Nothing too crazy. The APC is gonna take superiority, derrick superiority here. And yeah, Sigil's APC was forced back. Interesting. Sometimes if you're fancy and you know your opponent is still not going aggressive, you can pack a couple rocket soldiers alongside your APC and then just try and find the other APC and bait with an engineer. But it's a risky business. Because, you know, pathing sometimes screws you over in more ways than one. The second comm center should also, by all accounts, be going over to Blackened as well. So that's pretty good for him. He's gotten a flak truck for himself too. So he went double light vehicle, which is good for scouting on a map this large. Not the worst thing in the world, but then again, it just slows you down a little. Oh, recapture from Sigil. taking back his own his own comm center there. And out come the ore truck as well as the MCV. This is such perfect timing. Let's look at the production tab as well. Yeah, 9 seconds. My lord, this is just handcrafted to have perfect timing, because by the time the ore truck has finished its payload, Blackened will have placed the ore refinery. Yup, that is as perfect as it gets for the macro transfer. Wow. Yep. And Sigil lagging behind. No shots fired just yet. What a calm early game. On a map this large, I understand players' hesitation to go on the aggressive, because you move out, you fall to a counter push. It happens a lot. Yeah, Sigil, to make up for it, he has transferred 2 harvesters over. And comm center is going to Blackened, so I think we're still very, very even. 2k to scrap 1k now. That's just about to even out in a second. It's always just, usually the player who gets their tank produced first has a little edge for a brief moment. Oh, okay. Sigil feels pressure to take out the Derrick. He did still have his APC somewhere. Where was the APC? Oh, here. Why didn't he just recapture it? Honestly, I would. It's definitely worth it. So a lot of harvesters still in the main base. This is about to be mined out in just a hot second. But speaking of hot, the Cold War that has been going on here is about to get hot as well, as the first skirmishes are gonna be starting soon. Little Scuffle is gonna find an unprotected war factory, not the worst target in the world. On this side, we're seeing the comm center being taken out. Why is he bringing the engineer? Oh. Yeah, there's nothing more to repair here. The Derrick is dead. Very, very afraid to inform you. Oh, wow. He's actually going for the ore refinery. Straight going for the Jaguar. Is it enough? Yeah, it is. Just barely enough. Trades a lot of army for an ore refinery. That's not the worst thing, because Sigil has just produced a second war factory. So this was not another ore refinery, otherwise it would have been a pointless endeavor. Infrastructure, no territorial gains. What's the income? Oh lord. Such a quiet early game, and there is a massive push out coming from Blackened. Sigil is scrambling to defend, but there is a second wave as well. And the flag track being nicely parked in the middle is gonna give some intel to Blackened. That's very good, I like that. Yeah, Sigil is super well prepared here, so this little push is going nowhere. But maybe if Sigil isn't paying attention, he is gonna get a harvester. Oh no. Oh no, this is not supposed to happen. Yikes, freebies. Absolute freebies here. On this side though, both meat shields still sort of standing. Tanks are going forward for Sigil. Not too many rockets remaining. I think this is gonna be taken by Sigil, handily so. Very nice, calm, collected, patient. As a result, gets to wipe the army. Is he gonna go in a counter push? Doesn't look like it. Oh god. Another harvester. This was not meant to happen. Honestly, the APC is already there. Load up your rockets and go for a little drop. Would be a cool way of leveraging his advantage there. Yeah, he's trying to leverage his advantage by pushing into a comm center. That gives your opponent intel as to your army strength. I would not recommend that unless you're very far ahead and or know where the army position of your opponent is. Sigil conversion. Blackened has his airfield up. So this is such an interesting phase of the game for Soviet versus Soviet mirrors. On the one hand, you can get some massive shots with V2s in. On the other hand, you're lacking armor. Your opponent is going to have a stronger armor division because, especially with Sigil producing from 2 tank factories. So if the V2s miss, then this can be terrible. This can backfire. Those transitions can be either great or they can backfire. So far has not been revealed. Oh, what a shot. That has been beautiful from Blackened. Exerting a lot of patience. Second V2 coming in. Good shots, good shots. Should pull them back now. One dying. Oh no. Still alive, still alive. That was absolutely well played. Masterclass from Blackened. Exerting so much patience with the V2s. Beautiful. counter pressure. There is just 2 flame towers, so this is gonna get run over in just a hot minute. Speaking of hot, how about flamed conscripts? So my favorite grandma's homemade flamberged conscript. Oh, doesn't get the ore truck. Yikes. That's bad. Bad news bear for Sigil, who is now finding himself at Harvester parity, actually. And the assets, however, are speaking a very different story, tell a different tale of a man who has lost a lot more army than his opposition. He's trying to make up for it by just going mass heavies. Risky. Mass heavies doesn't work so much when your opponent just has an overall superiority and also already has a tech center out. Oh. Second war factory coming online for Blackened. What is he building? An iron curtain already. That's so beautiful. That is a very smart decision. Investment into the future. Making sure he doesn't give away this game too easily. But Sigil is not gonna go quietly and gently into this good night. He is gonna try and muster an army again. Man, he has basically nothing. Yeah, that's Blackened taking a 3rd base. Plus an iron curtain ticking down. Radar dome, tech center. It's all set. Mammoth tanks are, again, an interesting proposition against Soviets. Mammoths get heavily outtraded bang for buck by heavy tanks. So this is not always a good choice. Maybe he's going for the power. Maybe service depot snipe would be good. Let's just scout it for now. Yeah, service depot snipe, very good. Deny the tech because your opponent already... your opponent has an army advantage or a heavy tank advantage. Deny this advantage while trying to press your own. He's trying to push in here. I feel this is not enough. At least 1 harvester going down though. Some good crushes happening. Alright, getting a lot more leverage from this push than I was initially suspecting. Oh, found the iron curtain, and that one is going down with little fanfare. Radar dome as well? Is that the entire tech tree denied? Trades off for the entire army yet again, so... Oh, the V2's target fired into the middle of the blob. Second wave deciding against an engagement here. Tech center is alive. And you only need the tech center for mammoth tanks. Sorry, getting a bit hoarse here. You do not need a radar dome for mammoth tanks. Only tier 3. So counter V2s are finally out, and he's supplementing with mobile flags. Ooh, this was close to being a disaster. If this had hit into the middle of the blob. Because right now, Blackened doesn't have air superiority. He does not have a yak out. Good hit with the V2. Second V2 coming in, and Blackened, as a result, can't push in without waiting for another yak, I'd say. But it is actually Blackened going for the yak again. It's Sigil going for the yak this time around. Blackened has built another iron curtain. Maybe he's gonna pull a 5 aces and put it aggressively, because that happens all the time. I think it's a field defense because it's in the defense tab. And then I'm like, yep. Just built an offensive iron curtain or offensive chronosphere. Those are the best. This base is about to get overrun if the mammoth tanks decide for pushing in. Doesn't appear to be the case. Light armor transition. This is too tough. With this multi-prong style, with this singular army style, light armor composition can work. Oh, yak going down as well. But with multi-prong style, that's just too much micro demand. This is realistically never gonna work, plus there is such a big force. Advancing onto Sigil's main base, he's trying to counter. Ah, some good hits from the flak. Vehicles all still alive. But yeah, Sigil has just run out of stuff, period. Let's check the support power tab. Ooh. That harvester, even the husk just burning down into the ground within a matter of seconds. Yep, MCV pulling back behind the safety of the Tesla coil net. Tesla coil network still providing good value. The V2 needs to... Oh no! He misfired. V2 would have needed way better shots. Now taking a bruising, and down goes the V2. And thus any chances at stopping the infantry from advancing. And as you can see, V2s are terrible at chasing. As this entire light armor composition is terrible at chasing. Trying to... Ooh, good crashes with the APC though. At the end of the day, it's only 3 mammoths remaining, but that's more than enough against just infantry. They can kite for days. MCV is alive. Has he got a Tesla coil ready? He's trying. But I fear his economy is... Yeah, his economy is not gonna allow for that at all. The Yak immediately finds the Conyard as well, so that's all she wrote. Selling off the Conyard, probably the smartest choice. This one wasn't going anywhere. And really, realistically, Blackened is just waiting for the Iron Curtain to give it a go. Would be worth maybe suiciding a Yak in. Let's see. You know, he's preparing the Plus of Doom. Straight up, that's the Plus of Doom. Iron Curtain being fired, never mind. No style points needed. GG immediately called. That is, how many minutes? 16 minutes. Only the last 5 minutes it got really hot, and before that it was a very calm and collected early game. Which is to be expected from a map like this, because, yeah, it's just one where you have to macro up a lot. And then get into 1 or 2 explosive fights. There are more close quarters maps. Let's see if Game 2 is gonna bring us one of those. See you in a sec.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And for game number 2, we're going to be finding ourselves on Dover once again. This is the map that doesn't look anything like Dover at all. So Dover is a coastal town, if I remember correctly, because it harbors a ferry to Calais. So it would be weird for it to be just this neck in the woods. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the harbor. So it looks quaint. Looks very, very British. That's nice. Alright, so again, we're gonna be seeing Sigil opting for Ukraine, and this time he's gonna be tangoing with Blackened as Le French, which is a very thematic, oh, that would have been a sick thematic match for Sigil to pick England. He went medics before rifle infantry. So one thing that's interesting about medics, they have more health than almost any other infantry. They also have a really low sight cone, by the way, as evidenced here. Even lower than regular infantry. They're freaking blind. You've got glaucoma or something. Yeah, but they have more health, so maybe this is for tanking? Having the first medic soak up a couple shots and the second medic behind to heal him up. And does do some tanking, but that's not always viable, especially when your opponent is already on 5 stackers. Yeah, then it gets a bit dicey. Weird early game build order from Blackened. That's a new one. Maybe he just wants to rally his forces and have the medics out as soon as possible for added value. Going for some pressure onto the derrick, it appears, or maybe just cutting off the bridge access. The farthest you can place a flame tower is here. So this is relatively safe. The medics are gonna be, I guess, up front tanking the damage. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. Ah, they're getting low though. So yeah, that's a super aggressive play from Blackened. And Sigil has nothing in the way of recourse. Down goes the derrick. Down go those 2 scouts probably. Nope. Deciding to vault away. And that is 2 derricks over nil. Ah, there was a War Factory opener though, so this is a good timing for the APC. That would be some APC you later timings here. He's not finding the army at the moment, he is looking. Oh boy, he's looking. This could be some sick value. Come on, man! My friend! My friend! Ah! He completely misread the situation there. Yeah, the window for the APC is rapidly closing. And there is a light tank out to boot. Light tank can't really kill the APC reliably, but he can chase it. And basically always keep tabs on it. Oh no, finding the rockets almost... Oh! 1 rocket crushed. Lots of damage being taken though. Light tank, can he finish off the APC? I don't think so, no. No. Light tanks suck. I mean, they have their place. but against heavy armor APC, no thank you, sir. And that is an absolute massive early game win for Blackened, who gets to profit off this pressure on this giant map. I mean, the spawn distances are not that giant, it's just that you have to expand away from your opponent. There is one mine in the middle, or one mining operation in the middle that can be contested. So you expand more outwards as time goes on. Oh, Sigil hasn't even taken his second Derrick yet. Yeah, that's a good point. And now Blackened is camping it. That is not looking too hot. Yikes. What are those? Oh, just rifles. I thought it was Grens. Grens would have been an interesting choice trying to go for a power snipe. And Blackened is playing it relatively greedy because he doesn't have a field defense queued up. Going for an MCV already. Oh, what? Sigil is really broke. He's not building... Oh no, he's got his MCV out there. But he needs a refinery ASAP. 2 light tanks now. Alright. MCV cannot tank the damage from 2 light tanks. Nice. Keeps the APC alive. So... Okay, nice stop command here as well. Oh, but the rocket soldiers... Okay, they've done their job. APC needs to pull back. No, not like this. Conyard under full fire. Oh my goodness, Sigil, please! Move the Conyard. Oh! This would have been an easy hold on the Conyard, I feel, if it had just undeployed in time. Tragedy striking yet again. This is not boding well for him. Sigil is forced to move out his original MCV. Has no longer got an expansion refinery out. It's going from bad to worse for him. He's on 2k, 5 harvesters, no expansion refinery, and in comes the pressure from Blackened. I'm gonna take a look at the combat tab here. It's even. And if the combat tab is even, you've got basically the same assets, but you are 1 expansion down and 1 MCV down from your opponent, 1 refinery down. Yeah, you do the math. You're gonna get outscaled very, very rapidly. This is an unfortunate turn of events. Should have just pulled back with the MCV in time. That was just a slip up that is probably costing him the game here. Yeah, tanks are going in. Second tank has soaked up enough damage to make it worthwhile. Oh my lord. It's just got barely enough infantry to kill the Conyard again. Again, no undeploy here from Sigil. This time around it's a bit more understandable because he would have lost his production queue yet again. But this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. Combat stats are not looking too different, but the income. Yeah, this is soon gonna be long distance mining operations, good sir. Meanwhile, Blackened has just built another army because he's got income. He's got the cash. He's got the stacks, my friend. Plus, this Derrick also doesn't really help. Doesn't help that it's 2 Derricks over nil. Yikes! This was tragedy striking for Sigil. Usually I would put him, in terms of skill level, I would put him almost on par with Blackened, but this time around he just got rolled over. We all have those games. I just played 2 games against Anju, whom I usually can go toe-to-toe with, but I played 2 macro maps and lost the macro hard 2 games in a row. It's the way the cookie crumbles. Those forward flame towers, man. Oh. Thanks, I hate this composition. What is this? Only rockets and medics. Blackened going for so many medics. Good against Actra Harass, I guess. Not really good in an army engagement, and especially not good when there is base defenses involved. We're on 8 minutes now, and Sigil is trying to get the Derrick back. It's not happening because there's a column of tanks rolling in. Wait, what? No, it's just sending 1. That's really smart. He doesn't want to give away his positioning. It's like, oh, that was just a lonesome rifle scout killing your engineer there. Surprise, motherfucker! Oh no. poor, ill-fated MCV. Let's see if MCV number 3 is gonna get sold off, or if it's gonna get pulled back in time. Oh my goodness. Again, no sell order. GG coming out. I mean, this was just terrible from start to finish for Sigil. Oh, yeah, artillery transition for Blackened as well. Game number 1, really competitive, and was basically then decided by the one big engagement. Game number 2, yeah, we all have those games. So, with that out of the way, we're going to be casting some more RAGL. We're also going to be casting Shout Paradise. The new release is in, and surprisingly enough, there's a big balance change. Shout Paradise has now transitioned over to multi-queue as of the current release. This means that it is going to allow for multiple war factories to produce, or multiple production buildings to produce multiple units at the same time, which puts it closer to Romanov's Vengeance in terms of game balance, and to obviously the original games, Kane's Wrath and so on. So, that's something I'm excited to cover as well. And more RAGL to come. Thank you for watching, stay tuned. In a couple days, there's gonna be more casts. More to come. And I'm especially hyped for the playoffs. Because without spoiling, I know someone who's going to the playoffs, and it's gonna be juicy. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.